That's $50 to make, and you want nearly £3,000 off me. You've got these brands that are designer brands that are being outed for exploiting people, but so do the fakes. I'm selling off so much of my collection. I sold off a lot last year and I'm selling off more this year. So a lot of what I'm selling, I'm just making space, I'm saving the money, and I'm decluttering my life. Hi everyone, welcome to another video. A couple of weeks ago, maybe it was a week ago, I did a video where I was talking about how, in my opinion, and let me know if you agree or disagree, but in my opinion, I feel as though for 2025, designer bags feel a little bit over. And for me, that I had multiple reasons why I felt the way I did and still do. And I do want to caveat this video by saying that I'm not saying for this year, if you own designer bags, if you love them, that you should stop wearing them. I definitely will not stop wearing them. But I've definitely slowed down buying them, and I have my reasons, and one of the big reasons is to do with, and I bang on about it all the time, but it irks me, are these crazy price rises where if you look at an item and it's expensive but it looks it, fair enough. But when you look at an item and it's maybe not made that well, or you know, it just, like I told you, I think in that video, that I saw a really nice bucket hat from one of these big designer brands and I fell in love with it. Then I went and looked at how much it was, and it was £1,100, and I thought, no. That price is fiction. That's a silly price. I don't know who thought that that was realistic, but it's completely not. So what we're going to do in this video, I'm going to talk to you about why I think for this year, non-designer bags are going to be the way forward. And in fact, some bags that are designer, but they're very understated. So if you're watching this thinking, yeah, I kind of want to, you know, change up my collection, or maybe you were saving up for your first bag and you're listening to this going, okay, this sounds quite interesting. I am going to show you some designer bags that are more understated and definitely worth it. But we're going to be going through loads of bags that I've got right here with me on the floor that are so cute, non-designer, not all of them that expensive, and they're all, here's the thing, very well made. So the first bag that I would say, and I'm so annoyed, can you see there's dents on it here and here? It's where I've had it. Look at that. I'm going to have to use a hairdryer on this. That's a good trick, guys. If you have dents in leather, use a little bit of a warmth from a hairdryer and just massage it with your hand as you go, and it can really lift out the creases. So I'm going to try that. But this bag is from Lorna, and it's a brand that I massively recommend. So annoyed about those creases, but it's a bag that I recommend because this was very popular with the late Queen. This was a brand that she pretty much exclusively wore, so you know it's going to be good quality. When you order from them, you custom make your bag, and generally speaking, you have to wait a little while for it to turn up. So I waited several weeks for this bag, and I decided to go with icing pink on the sides and then just plain black on the handle. You can customize the handle, the flap, the bag itself, the sides, everything. Then on the inside, you just push this up to open it. On the inside, I decided to go for pink suede, and it's really cute. You get hang on, a crossbody strap, so you can wear it crossbody or on your shoulder, but you also get with it like a little mirror that's in the color of the main body of the bag that you decided to go for. And I just think for the money, it's pretty good. So I think one such reason why, for me, I would say that non-designer bags are really big for this year, or bags like that, the Lorna one, where it is designer but it's kind of more played down. For me, it's because of safety. We are seeing so many luxury thefts going on. I even saw one the other day that happened in LA where, put an image of it in here actually, where I think it was an influencer. She's gone on holiday and she's got cameras in her dressing rooms, and like thieves have broken in and they're just rifling through her stuff, stealing things. That was in LA from memory, but it's happening loads in London. I mean, I don't want my channel to turn into like a crime channel, but that's the way it's going. There's been another theft in St. John's Wood, which I might do a video on because that's quite a shocking one. But it is just all going on. And I think from a safety point of view, I've definitely calmed down wearing a lot of my bags that are very obviously designer. Like my Dior book tote, I don't feel great using that anymore because there are fakes everywhere, so I feel like it cheapened that bag. But also, when you wear that bag, people look at the bag and it was starting to make me uncomfortable. So I have switched to a bag that I was sent by VIVAIA, and look, they've put my name on it at the bottom. And I just love this bag. It's really nicely lined on the inside. It's not super heavy like the book tote is. It comes with this little wallet on the side. And on the interior of this wallet, check this out. You get a little card holder, and that's got my initial on it as well. And I thought that's really, like, that's a really nice touch. Not expensive, really well put together. I think you can get it in different colours. That colour is called Nutmeg. By the way, I will link to what I can do below, so go and check that out if you want to. The next bag that I would highly recommend is this. This is from ATELIERS Auguste. And if I come in closer and show you, it's leather, but it's faux lizard. The print on there is faux lizard. I've been really enjoying this bag. This is a bag they sent me last year, and it was a brand I'd never heard of, you know, and they contacted me and said, we'd love to send you a bag and like you review it. And I looked at their bags and I thought, okay, I don't normally say yes to like brand stuff when it comes through, but I looked at their bags and I thought, no, they actually look really good. So I agreed. They sent me the bag, and when it turned up, I was very impressed. On the inside, it is lined with suede. It's just a great bag. You can get this in different sizes as well. This is the larger size. Kind of reminds me of the Hermes Constance without it being too much of a dangerous bag to carry around, because everyone knows that big H on the front. Everyone knows what that is. But this, you kind of get that look. Costs a lot less. Really good quality. I think another reason why for me I'm feeling as though non-designer bags feel more exciting are because you can get some really unique designs. Whereas with a lot of these designer brands, it's a good thing, but they make a certain style and then it becomes quite iconic because they don't necessarily change that style or bring out new styles. So you end up with bags like the Louis Vuitton Speedy, like the Lady Dior, like the Chanel Classic Flap, where they've been making those for years. And so if you buy one of those, it's great because you're never going to, you've not bought something that's going to date. And if you ever want to sell it, you've got like a big audience of people that would buy that from you because they still make it. But what I really like about non-designer is the quirkiness. So check out this. This is a bag that I love. I've actually got this in 2 colours. It's handmade by a lady that I found on Instagram, and she crochets them. And you pick the colour. This is like a shiny black, but you can get non-shiny. She does so many colours. You can get the handle a different colour from the bag. Let me come in and show you. So it's kind of glossy. And look at that handle. I couldn't move on without mentioning Coach. Coach are, the way they're priced, so this bag was nearly £400. It was like 300 and let's say £95. It was something like that. So you're not looking at cheap. It's not cheap prices. But compared to designer brands, it is cheap. And I can vouch for the quality, except for the little backpack I've got where the paint's rubbed off. I can vouch. I've got loads of other Coach bags and they've all held together really well. I don't know whether that was just a dud bag that I bought, but this I can highly recommend. I think this is called the Lena bag, L-E-N-A, and this is in the smaller size. So you can get in, I think, 2 sizes. There's one bigger than this. You can get it in lots of different colours. It's really handy because on the inside, can you see this section in the middle? This is magnetic. And it snaps closed after, so I always keep my wallet in there. So despite the fact that the bag is actually open, I feel quite safe because my wallet's in there, and I tend to wear this crossbody in front of me so I can see what's going on with it. But when I saw this, I thought it was really, really cute. I did low-key want to get it in black or cream, but the red was on special offer at the time, and I do like the red. I'm particularly liking it in winter months because it's kind of like quite a scarlety, tomatoey tone. Really, really nice, but I do recommend Coach. Their stuff's really good quality. It really hangs together. And they're a brand that have been going since like the 1940s or something crazy. So before we do the last two bags, I've got another two reasons why, for me, I think that we're going to be looking more at non-designer bags this year. One links back to the point I made earlier to do with price rises and how much these things cost. I think that in 2024 in particular, we saw a real surge on social media of influencers sort of not buying designer and putting the money towards travel. And I think, generally speaking, what goes on TikTok and Instagram does, if you're engaged in those social media platforms, does seem to kind of spill out into real life. And I think that it's inspired a lot more people to maybe look at the bag and go, you know what, that bag's £4,000. That's a really nice trip away somewhere. What would I rather have? A trip away and memories, or a bag that, albeit is very, very sweet, but what would I rather have? And I think that there is definitely this move more towards experiences, life experiences, making memories, just things that go above and beyond buying stuff. And I think we're also seeing a trend where it comes to designer where you don't have a massive collection anymore. Like, I'm selling off so much of my collection. I sold off a lot last year and I'm selling off more this year. There will be a video about that coming up, okay? So if you want to see what I'm selling, because I've added to it since the last video, then keep watching the channel. But why have I sold off stuff? I'm selling off stuff that I'm hoarding. I'm selling off stuff that I'm not wearing. And I feel as though, Sophie, if you're not using it, if you're not wearing it, get rid of it. Use the money for something else. And I am saving the money and just waiting to see what it is that I want to do with it. And in the meantime, I'm really clearing out. Like, if you saw where I keep my bags, it's actually disgusting, the amount of bags I've got, and the bags I've got that I'm not using, that I haven't reached for, in some of them in years, some of them ever. And I know some of you have said to me, what are you doing buying stuff you're not using? I'm a lot better now, but I used to buy bags that were too small for me, and I'd get them home and I'd love them, but my stuff didn't fit, and I'd be like, well, I don't really want to go and get a return, so I'm just going to keep it, and I'm sure I can use it for an evening, but I end up not using it. So, and that's one thing I've learned over the years as I've grown up. Now, before I buy something, on the counter in the shop, I unload everything from my bag and I make sure it fits, and if it doesn't fit, I don't buy the bag. But that's something I've had to learn to do. So a lot of what I'm selling, I'm just making space, I'm saving the money, and I'm decluttering my life. That's it. And then the final thing is, I think, to do with fakes. And again, I'd love to get your feedback on this. I know a lot of people love fakes, and you do you. My personal opinion on fakes are that you've got these brands that are designer brands that are being outed for exploiting people, but so do the fakes. And I think they're both as bad as each other. And I think this is another reason, the exploitation and brands being outed is another massive reason why I feel we are seeing a decline in all of us who want to buy this stuff. Because you look at a bag and you're like, the lid's been lifted. That's $50 to make, and you want nearly £3,000 off me. And I think the lid has been lifted. And I think this is another reason why so many people are like, no, I'm not going to fill your pockets and you rip me off. But I do think with fakes, I don't like fakes. I don't like the criminality behind fakes. And again, I say this, there is blatant criminality behind the designer brands as well, you know. And that's put me off buying from some of these brands. I haven't bought from these brands in like a year because I'm like, ugh, I don't really like your practices at all. But I don't like fakes. And I don't like the way fakes, in my opinion, really devalue how much, like if you go and buy a bag for 3,000, let's say, and I get it all the time on Instagram, you know, my inbox is full of spammy sellers trying to get me to buy fakes. And I'm like, never in a million years, no. Because it devalues the real thing. And then you want to sell it one day and there's all these fakes everywhere, and it's like I've got it with the book tote. I wouldn't buy that bag again because there's terrible fakes everywhere, and for me it's cheapened the bag. And you might disagree, and you might be getting really angry with me right now and going fakes are great and back off, and I get it. But I'm just kind of putting forward my thoughts on this, and I do think that fakes and the whole fake industry, and I think it's cheapened designer. It's made it feel a bit cheap, in my opinion. So that's that. Now the final two bags, I don't think they make this one anymore, but I couldn't not mention it because I really like this bag. Let me just straighten it out a bit. So this bag is from Senreve. It's flat at the moment. It's not normally flat. It needs something in it, but it's basically, they call it I forget the exact name of it, but it translates into croissant because that's what it looks like. I don't think they make it anymore. I actually bought this chain separately off Etsy because the chain it came with I felt was really thin and flimsy. I think they've changed it now, but or they did at one point if they still make it, but I didn't like the chain it came with. It felt like it could snap actually. It was really, really thin, and I just wanted something more chunky that would add to it. So this is really good. This is also made out of vegan leather. Their vegan stuff is actually really good. When I say vegan leather, this is made out of pineapples skin or something, leaves. It's made out of pineapple or no, cactus, that's it. It's made out of cactus. You wouldn't know. It's got the texture of leather, doesn't smell of leather, but it's got that texture, and yeah, really good bag, lined with suede as well, micro suede as well. And then the final bag from them is the Mini Maestra, which I highly recommend this bag. I use this for travel because it's so perfect on the inside with its compartments. So this is it on the inside. What's in there? 10 cents is in there, a coin. But it also has this little hook on it so you can attach your keys and they don't get lost. All of the compartments in there. It's really, really great for travel. You can keep your passport in there, all of your travel documents, and you don't have to worry about them getting lost. I really rate this bag. You can get this in different leathers as well, and in 3 different sizes. The largest size I use as my laptop bag because it does fit a large laptop, but I really like the mini size to be used as a handbag. But let me know what you think. Are there any bags here that you like, any that you hate? Are there any brands you can think of where you're like, actually this brand is on the up? Please let me know in the comments. Do you agree? Do you disagree with anything I've said? Let me know in the comments. I hope that you have enjoyed this video. I will link to what I can do below. So have a look in the description if you've seen anything. As I say, the clothes are all from the same place, Manière de Voir, except for like 2 of the tops, which I may or may not wear. But everything else is from there. Some of it from their sale, actually, which has been a really good sale. Anyway, I'm going to let you go. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.